Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and have kept it off 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about 3 lies that overweight people tell themselves. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, especially from the psychological point of view, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, which has tons of articles and recipes, my podcast, The Awakened Man, my 2 books, and if you appreciate my content, please post a donation. Even 5 centavos makes a difference. All right, so today I wanted to cover some lies that overweight people tell themselves. I've mentioned this many times. Weight loss and weight management is psychological. It's all psychological. We can say it's my metabolism. We can say, I'm not working out enough, but ultimately all that is, especially the workout and what you put in your mouth, because you should be responsible for everything you put in your mouth, regardless of what childhood trauma you had or what stress you have in your life. We have to be accountable for our actions always. All these stem from the mind. The mind is, of course, the biggest component to weight loss and weight management. So unlearning what we have learned and rethinking things is exceedingly important. And this is why cognitive behavioral therapy is probably the most effective therapy for weight loss. Now some would say it's hypnosis, but CBT, because CBT works on changing your thought processes. So we're just going to cover 3 lies. And there's more. Maybe we'll do this in an ongoing series. 3 lies, and all these lies, I think, hamstring you to where you're at right now. So, no particular order. The first one is, my body's just this way. Well, no, it's not, because you weren't born morbidly overweight. Your body became that way because of your disordered eating. And I've mentioned it many times. Put food in front of a 4-year-old, they're just going to eat till they're not hungry. They don't overeat it. That's ordered eating. So we had disordered eating. So your body's just the way it is, the way it is. No, it's not, because your body gained the weight. So theoretically, if your body gained the weight, of course you can lose the weight. Now, all these 3, quote, lies are all kind of tied together of negativistic thinking and a loser mentality. And we have a video here on how you need to eschew the loser mentality. And the loser mentality is people tell you stuff, on tips on how to lose weight or motivate you. You're like, yeah, I know, but. It's always, I can't, glass half empty. And so all of these lies are kind of connected to that. And one of them is simply going to be like, my body's always been this way, or my body can't change. Sure it can. It changed to get fat. So your body is trophic, as they say. It's fungible. Therefore, you can lose the weight. Okay. Number 2. I'm addicted to food. Well, maybe you are addicted to food, but if we look as food as an addiction, similar to drugs or sex or alcohol, and like I talk about it in the Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior episode, my occasion of going to Overeaters Anonymous, after I'd lost my weight. If we look at eating addiction as legitimate, I think, and just again, this is my channel, it's only my opinion, that the addiction model takes accountability away from our actions. And if we say, well, I'm just addicted, there's nothing I can do about it, it takes culpability away from you. And I don't think that's a good thing. Because the addiction model is like, why are you overweight? Well, I'm addicted to food. Oh, okay, like we tell with alcoholics, right? So an alcoholic, well, I'm addicted to alcohol. Oh, okay, you're scot-free, off the hook. No, well, you're not off the hook. You still need to control your drinking and not drink and drive and do all the other things that break up your family and destroy your family. So the addiction model, I feel, is a model that undermines change, because you can just use it as a crutch. Well, I'm addicted to food. I'm addicted to alcohol. Well, there's a lot of people that are sober. The old 80s actor Rob Lowe, he's been sober 27 years, so he's not addicted to alcohol. And if he was addicted, and maybe he's he would perceive to be addicted to it in his mind, but he has the temperance and fortitude to withhold and be abstemious. So you can do the same. Saying that you're addicted to food is just a crutch for you to continue a pernicious behavior of binge eating or eating poorly. And you weren't born addicted to food. So no, you're not addicted to food. You use food to numb the pain and as a coping mechanism. So these are all transient things. You weren't born that way, so since they're transient, you can change them. It just requires work. And I mean, that could be the third lie in some ways. Like, I don't have the work effort. I can't be assiduous and perseverant enough to do the weight loss. Well, I think that is an honest assessment, and I don't necessarily think that's a lie, because ultimately willpower is something that must come from within. And if you feel like you can't withhold eating or reduce your caloric intake or increase your exercise, I mean, that's ultimately up to you. The third lie I want to say is, well, everyone who's lost weight, they had ... They had bariatric surgery, they had a trainer 6 hours a day, they had an easier life than I did, they didn't deal with whatever abuse I did. Again, victim mentality. How in the long run does it benefit you to have a victim mentality? A victim mentality, a loser mentality, and again, you can have a loser mindset and not be a loser, it's just the mindset. The victim loser mentality stagnates you, and it makes you feel complacent and comfortable, right? Well, I can't lose the weight because of my horrific childhood, or I was sexually abused, or therefore I'm off the hook. No. You'll blink 10 years from now and you'll be even fatter. So having the victim mentality is not the mentality that's going to lead to weight loss and management. You need to get out of the victim mentality and get to the survivor mentality, and then ultimately to the thriver mentality. And these latter two are glass half full. I will do it. It's going to be hard. I might struggle, but I will do it. So this last one, where you make excuses for everybody else, is simply, it's like what I talk about with poison and anger and jealousy. These are poisons, anger, envy, jealousy, vengeance. These are poisons that we concoct that only we drink. The people that we're jealous of aren't affected by it. You're so stewing in your hatred or envy for somebody, and they're just do all throughout the day. They don't know. So it's like hating the rich. Like, this is very common with poor people, with envy. We shouldn't hate the rich. We should strive to be the rich. Strive. Don't hate them. But we want to think, oh, they're rich because they had an easier childhood, because they did this, their parents gave them the money, excuse. And all these excuses are really there to make it easier for you to look in the mirror as to why you haven't succeeded. And ultimately that just hamstrings you. It quagmires you into stagnancy, into what you're at right now. So no. Are there going to be people that had a better childhood than you that lost weight or didn't lose weight? Yes. Are there going to be people that had a worse childhood than you who lost weight and didn't lose weight? Yes. So again, it's the mindset that impedes you, that stymies you. And to say, well, everyone had a easier childhood. I had a tough childhood. I'm not saying it was worse than yours, because I don't know your childhood, but I document my childhood, most of it, in Confessions of an Obese Child. I had a tough one, and I did it. So again, like, all these lies and all the things I've talked about ultimately are moot, and they don't really matter. Results are what matter. Action is what matter. You must actuate your desire to lose weight and put it into place. And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. Losing weight's hard. Keeping it off is even harder. Okay? Newsflash, it's even harder. Because we can crash diet and lose the weight. But changing the paradigm into long-term successful eating and exercising and the mindset is infinitely harder. And that's why I have this channel, to guide you through it. Because I've done it for 30 years. So please, purge the loser mindset. Please purge the victim mentality and any lies that you tell yourself as to why you can't do it. like we would say in the religious world, that's the devil telling you, because the devil wants you to stay where you're at. And you don't want to stay where you're at. You want to succeed, but it does take work. And ultimately, only you can decide if you want to put the work into it. And if you don't want to put the work into it and you want to eat Hot Pockets and play video games, okay, then don't complain about being overweight. You're making the choice. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.